Steelers Nation, what's going on? Welcome back to the place where black and gold runs deep, day in and day out. If you've been riding with us, you already know this channel is your go-to for everything Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now, all eyes are on Latrobe as the 2025 season creeps closer. The pads are cracking, the drills are intense, and the mission is clear. This year's squad is working harder than ever to sharpen every blade of their game, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Before we dive into what could be one of the most important developments of the offseason, do us a quick favor. Hit that like button if you bleed black and gold and subscribe if you haven't already. We're growing fast, just like the fire coming off a TJ Watt edge rush on 3rd and long, and your support helps this community thrive. Let's get into it. There are major changes coming to the Steelers' defense, and this isn't rumor mill fluff. These changes were confirmed by Alex Highsmith himself during his arrival at camp. Highsmith let it slip, or maybe purposefully dropped the bomb, that the defense is going to look very different this year. And honestly, it's about time. The Steelers are about to have the highest paid defense in the entire NFL for the 4th straight year, but if we're being brutally honest, the return on that investment didn't quite hit in 2024. The defense collapsed late in the season, and now both players and coaches are dead set on rewriting that ending. According to Highsmith and other inside sources, the scheme is getting turned on its head. Nothing is sacred. Expect to see a lot more unpredictability this season. New blitz packages, shifting alignments, and edge guys popping up in spots you've never seen them in before. Yes, that means TJ Watt and Highsmith flipping sides, lining up inside, or even stacking together on the same side. It's all on the table. The idea is simple. Keep the offense guessing and bring the chaos. Let's take a step back and talk about the anchor of this defense, TJ Watt. The 2024 season began with him looking like a clear-cut frontrunner for Defensive Player of the Year. He was dominating games, taking over possessions, and putting quarterbacks on notice. But down the stretch, something changed. Watt didn't record a single sack in the final 4 games of the season. That's not just unusual, it's unprecedented for a player of his caliber. Part of it was a nagging ankle injury he suffered in Week 14. But another big piece of the puzzle was predictability. Opposing teams figured out exactly where Watt would line up. They built protections to neutralize him, chipped him with tight ends, and slid protections his way. And it worked. For the first time in his career, TJ Watt got taken out of the game plan. That's exactly why the Steelers are shaking things up. Watt isn't just aware, he's fired up. He knows that kind of finish isn't acceptable, not for someone who's already led the NFL in sacks 3 separate times. And this season, he's coming back with a chip the size of the steel curtain on his shoulder. The Steelers are also deeper now at edge rusher. With Nick Herbig entering his 2nd year and the addition of rookie Jack Sawyer, the coaching staff is playing with more pieces on the board. That opens up the possibility of deploying all 4 edge rushers, Watt, Highsmith, Herbig, and Sawyer, on obvious passing downs. Imagine that, 4 hungry pass rushers unleashed at once. It's the kind of wild card that keeps offensive coordinators up at night. Training camp is intense this year, and for good reason. The coaching staff is pushing the defense out of its comfort zone. There's a clear emphasis on creativity, flexibility, and disguise. Zone blitzes, twists, stunts, delayed pressures, and exotic coverages are being installed now. Because in the modern NFL, especially in the AFC, if you're predictable, you're toast. This is the same conference where you see elite quarterbacks almost every week, and if you don't throw new looks at them, they will pick you apart. Speaking of shaking things up, it's not all smooth sailing in Latrobe. The offensive line, which was expected to take a big leap forward this year, is already dealing with a setback. Veteran left guard Isaac Seumalo is starting camp on the non-football injury list due to a soft tissue issue. Head coach Mike Tomlin addressed it during a recent press conference, reassuring fans that it's not a season-ending issue. Seumalo remains on the active roster and can return anytime. But we all know how tricky soft tissue injuries can be. One wrong move and you could be looking at an extended absence. In his place, third-year lineman Spencer Anderson is stepping up. Anderson has been a solid depth piece, but he's no Seumalo. These reps will be critical for his development, especially early in camp. The silver lining? The Steelers are better built this year. The offensive line has more depth, the defense has more experience, and the coaching staff appears more open to modernizing the playbook than they have in years. This is what it takes to build a championship-caliber team in 2025. Depth, accountability, and adaptability. But all of it hinges on execution. Now, let's pivot to one of the biggest storylines that just exploded onto the scene, and it's shaking up how fans view one of the most controversial moves of the offseason. The Steelers have now traded away a top-tier wide receiver in back-to-back seasons. First, it was Deontay Johnson to Carolina. This year, it was George Pickens, the highlight reel machine with superstar potential. His departure stunned fans. People wanted answers. Now, we're finally getting them. On ESPN's Get Up, analyst Louis Riddick dropped a behind-the-scenes story that gave fans a rare look inside the Steelers' internal discussions. Riddick revealed that during a private production meeting, Dan Orlovsky questioned Mike Tomlin about George Pickens and why he wasn't being disciplined more harshly for his behavior in 2024. Tomlin's response: "You don't give up on talent like this at this point." Let that sink in. A coach known for being tough, focused, and no-nonsense went out of his way to defend Pickens. That tells us everything. Tomlin saw the same issues we saw: the outbursts, the attitude, the social media antics, but he chose patience over punishment. He genuinely believed Pickens could mature with time, that the on-field brilliance would eventually be matched with professionalism off the field. But according to Riddick and other insiders, that growth never materialized. Not fast enough, not consistently. And in the NFL, when time is money, the Steelers couldn't afford to keep waiting. So they made a bold move, one they believe will bring more balance to the locker room. Enter DK Metcalf. The moment Pittsburgh acquired Metcalf, the message was clear. This team is going in a new direction. A direction where talent is still king, but maturity and leadership matter just as much. Pickens wasn't shown the door because he wasn't good enough. He was traded because the team didn't have the luxury of time to wait for him to grow up. And let's be honest, Steelers Nation, we saw the signs. The body language, the sideline reactions, the drama off the field. It never got ugly enough to go public, but something always felt off. Now we know. Tomlin tried. He really tried. But even the best leaders know when it's time to pivot. That's what makes him great. He tailors his coaching to every individual. But when a player stops responding, he moves forward. No emotion, just clarity and decisiveness. So here we are. A defense on the rise. A maturing roster. A coach still in complete control. The 2025 Steelers aren't just running it back, they're evolving. Now it's your turn, Steelers Nation. What do you want to see from this new-look defense? Should Watt and Highsmith rotate more? Are you excited about seeing Herbig and Sawyer flying off the edge on third downs? Do you think this is the year we finally get a dominant defense from Week 1 all the way through January? And what about Seumalo's injury? Are you confident in Anderson? Or is this a concern that needs to be addressed fast? Drop your takes in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll be highlighting some of the best fan insights in the next video. If you're fired up about Steelers football in 2025, do us a favor. Hit that like button. It helps the channel grow more than you know. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss a breaking update. We've got live camp coverage, game previews, player interviews, and everything you need to stay plugged in.